or tea, whatever you like?
Not yet.
Not yet. So if it's up to me, feel free to grab one, because I want you to enjoy the next 40 minutes. Because I have the honor to share a couple of stories, a couple of insights and facts from my experience, and share some tips with you on what you could do so you can make even more out of the work that you already love, I'm sure. Sound working? Can you hear me? Cool. If not, please give me a sign, okay, guys? That's Galina, who was born and raised in Bulgaria during communism, and that's the girl who spent the first decade of her life very, very happily. Then the next decade of my life wasn't so happy. I don't know what happened, but kind of my parents, my neighbors, they all got sick, they got angry about life, they got unhappy, and I was wondering why. I couldn't get it. So because I couldn't get it, with 14, I left my home, not like forever, but I went to high school in a different city because I was hoping to find more happy people and people who want to get healthy and so on. Still the second decade of my life, it didn't work out in this city, so I went to the capital. Everything okay, guys? So I went to the capital of Bulgaria. That was my next station. It didn't work out either. So I was thinking, okay, I have to switch countries. Maybe most of you know it, as I have noticed, a lot of you are expats. So what did I do? I went to Madrid. That was already the third decade of my life. And that was the place where I really understood, because I saw it and I felt it, how it feels when people are happy. What do you think it was? Those are the things like sparkling eyes, people smiling, people enjoying Mediterranean air and food outside, sitting in restaurants and holding hands and looking at each other as if they would love each other forever. And I fall in love with this kind of lifestyle, with this kind of being there on earth. And that was the point where I decided, I committed myself on doing everything which is in my power to become happy myself, to feel happy, and to enable others to feel happy as well. And that is why my journey continued with Munich. So that is why we all meet here today. I came to Munich 14 years ago, and after that I have spent all those years, approximately 14 years, studying, so to say, happiness and dreaming about this life that I have seen and felt over there in Madrid. What does it mean, studying happiness? It's very simple. After I committed, I spent all my time, all my energy, all my money on trying things out, on learning, on getting to know people, talking to people, making myself vulnerable, asking people about what makes them happy. Of course, studying, working with big corporations. Then I met the startup world and I fell in love once again. Because I saw how easy it is and how fast it can be to create new things. And creating new things in such a dynamic way, which is a startup, which is FlixBus as well, means doing new things, getting out of the comfort zone, sticking together, having a common vision, having a common goal, and enabling others to grow. So, and that is why I can say that for the past couple of years, I consider myself very happy. And to be frank, I don't know another person on earth who is happier than me. I hope there are a lot of them. Nice to meet you. I hope there are a lot of them, but what I mean by that sentence is that there is no one on earth I would switch my life with, which is a good thing. And how can I say such a thing? Or What is the measurement? What is the data I use from my database to decide that it is so? It's very simple. I have a mirror at home, and before I go to bed in the evening, I just look at myself. Sure, I like how I look, but it's not about it. It's about asking myself in the evening, was it a good day? Did I use that day to do the things that I consider right? Do I become richer on experience today? Did I manage to enable others to become richer as well? And then if the answer is yes, no matter what kind of shit things happened as well, because life is like shadow and light, it's night and day, shit always happens. The question is how you manage it. And the question is how much bad things and how many good things happen to you. And of course, not only in the evening, also in the morning, I ask myself, am I willing to start into the new day, no matter if it's a working day or just a random day? And to be frank, 90% of the days, or maybe 89% of the days, I'm like still sleeping, but yeah, I want to start. I can't wait to do this and that and this and that. And that's what I call happiness. But it's a weird picture of myself. Why weird? Because it doesn't seem like a lot of people are so open to talk about such things. A lot of people talk about artificial intelligence nowadays. We also plan on colonizing Mars. Such thing happens. And at the same time, we learn how to cope with energy in terms of calories. So we are very, very good nowadays in coping the balance of don't eat more than you can burn. So we are taking care of our health, yeah? Is it true? What we also do, it's a similar thing, is our bank account. We try not to spend more than we earn, right? But what we don't do, unfortunately, or only less people do, is to balance the good and the negative emotions. So that is basically the only way or the best way to get there, that in the evening you are happy and in the morning you are happy. And that is why there are so many people who don't really say, yeah, it's a new day, let's start it. What we also do nowadays is we connect our devices, we connect our homes. But what we don't connect is ourselves with ourselves and ourselves with others. Of course we do on Facebook, LinkedIn, and so on. But I'm really missing meeting face on face. And meeting, it doesn't mean like we meet here but we talk to each other. I say, hey, who are you? And what makes you jump out of bed in the morning? Or what do you do with your computer? Whatever is the question that moves you. And that is why I would summarize my journey until now is that life is not about what happens to us, it is about what we make out of it. And yeah, the World Championship metaphor, like everybody can get a ball from the shop, but it's another question what you do out of it. And that is why I founded Do Work You Love, which is my business, it's my heart. So talking about work that we love helps me get out there, talk to people, and enable them to have more fun, like have more positive feelings than negative feelings. And that's why I dare to say that with that, we reinvent the way how people perceive, find, and do their work. Why? Because you know all those statistics. I don't want to give you just another number, but you know so many people out there who are not happy with their work. And why is that a problem? Because it's not only the work. People who are not happy in their office or no matter what they do, they go home and they take these negative emotions home. They take it to their families, to their friends, to their hobbies. And I would say it's not fair and it's stupid. It's stupid for times, for a nation, for a world where we talk about colonizing Mars. It's stupid to know exactly how many gigabytes our devices have. It's stupid to talk about blockchain, but not to take care about how we feel on a daily basis. And I agree with the one and only Mr. Simon Sinek, who says your work is your personal megaphone to go out there, or just to stay in your office or wherever you work, and to tell the world what you believe, which means not only what you believe, but who you are and who you want to be in the future, how you want to be with others, how you want other people to act with you. And that is why I'm committing a lot of hours in the week on working out how people can do something for themselves, do something for loving what they do, and then get a different perspective on their work. Because, to be frank, there is no dream job. There is no perfect work. Same as there is no dream man or woman you can meet and just marry and everything's great. It is about the work and what it makes out of your life now. Not in general, but now. In the specific phase of your life that you are at the moment. And that is why, just to give you an idea of how I spend my life or what kind of impact I make, for example, we have one event which is called the Do Work You Love Breakfast. It's on a Monday morning at 7:30 a.m. and it's always overbooked in Munich, in Berlin, in Sofia, in Amsterdam. What we basically do is we get together, we have a coffee and breakfast and so on, and we talk to each other. But we don't just do small talk, we have a structure. It's about telling the others who you are, what you can do for them, what they can do for you. And what I'm really proud of, and that is one of the learnings that I have brought for you about what is out there and what people can do if they connect with like-minded people. You can imagine those meetings. It's really early in the morning on a Monday, and I'm very happy that everyone who is in the group gets the atmosphere, gets that kind of culture very, very fast, and they continue leading through that culture. Meaning, just to give you a specific example, if you attend and you say, I am the guy who does movies in his free time, and now I work at FlixTech, but what I can do for you is to help you prepare yourself for making your next movie for your business, for example. And then the other person who sits next to you says, hey, wait a minute, I know someone who is doing the same thing and he needs help right now. And because you said you need some help with your German language, for example, you can switch services, so to speak, or you can support each other. And what happens there is that I set the tone in the meetings, and then I can relax, because people, once they have seen how it works to connect with each other and to be authentic and to say what you can do for others without being afraid that they're gonna think, oh, that's stupid, or oh, who needs that, and so on. People just talk and connect, and the feedback that I got is that they meet afterwards over and over again, over lunch or in the evening, and they continue helping each other, and they even involve more people from their companies or from their friends. Then the other event that we do is called the Do Work You Love Vernissage, where people who already do work that they love come on stage, they tell their stories, and this way they inspire the audience. Because when somebody sitting in the audience hears, he made it, it wasn't so easy, but he did first, second, third thing, and he did it, then people from the audience go to that person, to the speaker, exchange more experience, and that is how magic happens. Another example about how this event changed the life and the career of a lot of people is with the companies that we work with. We have worked with Payback, Google, Microsoft, Freeletics, and so on. And one of the most obvious feedbacks was with Microsoft, because of a lot of people out there thought about Microsoft that it's kind of competitive and people are not so friendly. But when people came to our event, we had a guided tour through the offices, and then 3 people from Microsoft went on stage and they talked about their work and their motivation and vision and so on, and also external speakers came. And what attendees afterwards said is that I wouldn't have thought that Microsoft is such a cool employer. I wouldn't have thought that offices are really cool and devices are there and everything is possible and resources. But the biggest point that people pointed out was, I didn't know that so cool people work here. And that is what can happen only if people get together, if there is the right culture, the right communication or code of conduct, as we have today as well. And another example about what happens in our network, I want to give you with Frederike, because she started a couple of years ago by visiting such an event, which I just described. Afterwards, she came for coaching by myself, and then she started a job at a startup. Maybe you have heard about it, Userlane. And what happened is that after being a participant, she came on stage and she talked about her journey. And during that event, she managed to win new employees for her company as well. And that is how I like it. That is how it can work for people to start somewhere and then go their own journey in their own pace and close the circle. And that is why I would say that do work you love is just one example for what people can do to create this kind of, I call it with the Italian word la piazza, just to create a space and time where people can come together, meet, and create new things. And all those tools are now part of the Do Work You Love canvas, which is kind of a guideline with coaching questions for people who on their own or in our workshops can use, so they can not only answer what is the next job that I want to have, but very, very important, how I can make the best out of my current job. Because a lot of people think in black and white, and it's not like this. If a work doesn't feel like 100% cool at the moment, it's not about the work mostly. It is about how we perceive it. It is about what we do out of it. And here comes a list with 5 points that I'd like to recommend you, to give you as an idea what you could do if you want to make the most out of your work. And during that recommendation, I will show you a little bit more about the canvas I just was talking about. The first thing is always have with yourself your imaginary shopping basket. Have you heard about that metaphor? Okay, cool. So we all know what it is to go shopping or go for groceries, yeah? Even if we don't really do it on a regular basis, we know how it is. And now imagine you go through life with your imaginary shopping basket and everything you like, you put inside. Like, what I like is temperatures more than 30 degrees, or what I like is the way how they manage the technical equipment, or what I liked was the way how Alex was talking about himself, or what I like is how my people manager helped me to develop further, or what the customer said. No matter if it's a habit, if it's a characteristic, if it's something which on the first sight seems small or huge, you can put everything in the basket because there is no limit. And you don't have to explain to people what you make out of it. The only thing that matters is that it is something that you like. It is something that you'd like to have. And of course, don't give 100% to get there, because some things take time, and it's okay. And sometimes you set a goal and you let go, and you see which way leads you to that goal. But why does it help? Because in this way, you start thinking differently. Maybe you have heard that 85% of the thoughts that we think every day are always the same, which is a good thing if you feel good about it. But if somebody doesn't feel so good in his life, the best way to go to change that is to change the thoughts that you think. And putting your things that you like in the imaginary basket helps you with that. The second thing I would recommend you is to think about who you want to be in future. Because, of course, at this point of our lives, we are here now. And it's cool to be here now. But what is also cool is to know where you want to get. Why? It is similar to a navigation system. If you know you want to go to Hamburg, you can put it in and then get there. If not, it can happen that you kind of wake up and be in Alaska. And how do you do coming up with a vision about who you want to be in 5 or 10 or 30 years? It is very simple. For those of you who are familiar with innovation management or with user experience, I'm sure you have heard about persona building. It is about thinking about you in future and all the things that you think, that you feel, that you do, all the things that you say to yourself and to others. And now I would invite you to find somebody sitting next to you and to speak for approximately 4 minutes about who you want to be in future. And please don't try to make the perfect talk out of it. Just open your mouth and see what's coming out. It's very easy. And you can start by answering the question, who are the people who are going to surround me? Or am I going to be in a warm country or in a cold country 10 years from now? It is a good point to start. And then, at what time do I want to wake up? What do I think when I wake up? What do I do when I wake up? Do I make my coffee myself? Or is there anyone who already made the coffee for me? And so on. Okay, so let's take a couple of minutes, find a partner sitting next to you and talk a little bit about your future you. And feel free to take the time that you want to have in terms of 3 years from now, or 10 years from now, or 30 years from now. Enjoy. So, any interesting things that you want to share with us? Any new ideas or surprises? No. Okay, let me tell you a couple of things about why it's important. How does it help? I will give you an insight about... is everything good? Habe ich das gemutet? Don't look, don't look. So, the weather, guys. So, mute or not mute, that's the question. Cool. Hi Berlin, how are you doing? Yeah. So guys, what you see on the wall is the Do Work You Love canvas, which I created inspired by the business model canvas by Alex Osterwalder. And as I mentioned before, it's a kind of a Leitfaden. It's a guideline for people to define what kind of work they want to do. But how we get there, it's more interesting. Because the green part, you can see colors over there. Okay, this one is green, this one is blue, this one is red, and on the bottom it's gray. And the green part are a lot of questions about now and about the past that you answer, such as what kind of strengths and talents do you have, what kind of things are fun to you, and what kind of things interest you. Then what kind of network do you have at the moment, and what kind of gaps does your network have? which are the best moments you had until now at work or in your private life, and then what kind of challenges and chances you have at the moment because of your personal life, but also because of all the political situation and so on. Then what do you regret? What other people say about you, because others know us sometimes much better than we know ourselves. And what kind of resources we have. And that is nothing new, I'm sure, for you. But then the red part comes, which is about defining the future you. What kind of person you want to be? What kind of life do you want to have then? And those are several questions, one of which you just answered. And then the third part is in the middle, the blue one, which is asking a lot of why and what and how questions. Why does it help? If you come up that 30 years from now you wanna be the founder of a company which came out of FlixTech, the question would be, what kind of company should that be? And by asking all the W questions, you can come up and define who do you work with, who do you work for, who works for you and with you. What is the result of your daily work? What is the result for you? What is the result for your customers, for your colleagues, for your family, and so on? Why do you do that work? What kind of money do you get? What do you do with the money? Because, to be frank, we don't do things for money. We do the things for the things that we buy with the money we get. No matter if it's to be likable, or to be important, or to be free, or to feel secure, and so on. And those questions help you to make more specific who is you in the future. And then, and here comes the magic, guys, then you can start talking about you. Why? Most of the people who leave their work and who I have met, so I'm only talking about my experience, those people say they left because they didn't feel understood. They didn't feel like they're making an impact. They didn't feel that people appreciate their work or their personality. And those are the things that we can we can stop, we can prevent by talking about what we want to achieve in future. And it's not supposed to be about really personal stuff. It can be things like, it can be like, I want to have a Friday off. And for some people, it sounds like a huge mountain which is not achievable. But once that person talks about it, it's not a problem. And then you stand there and you say, wow, it's so easy. And now I'm happy. Now I can give all in. Now I can contribute. And imagine everybody does the same. So that is why we are gonna have the next exercise, which is also a very short one, about think about and talk about how your current company and team can support you so you can become the one that you want to become in future. Now please spend the next 4 minutes talking with your partner, and not the way like I talk about how I think that my company can support me, but your partner gives you ideas. Do you know what I mean? Okay. Imagine Ruben and I just did the exercise, and Ruben knows that I wanna be a digital nomad 10 years from now, for example. And then talking about and thinking about how FlixBus can enable me to get there, he says, yeah, talk with Lizzie or to John, how you can start making a plan on step by step becoming a digital nomad and still working here. And maybe this kind of a dream or criteria for happiness at work can help your team or your colleagues. Just a sec. Because then you can find the intersection of the goals that you have, the goals that your team has, the goal that your company has, the goal that the customers of your company have, and probably also the society. Is it clear now? So if I have thought I want to be a digital nomad, then Ruben gives me tips on what to do. Because we are very good in solving problems of others. Okay, 4 minutes. Enjoy. Then the next thing, after you got warm right now, the next thing that you want to do, and we're not going to do it now because of time issues, but find someone who is your sparring partner. Find someone who is your accountability partner, or just someone who inspires you, or that you can inspire this person. Why is that so good? Harvard did a study on happiness, about what makes people happy, with more than 700 people for over 70 years. And they came up with one thing which makes people happy, and that is relationships. So build some relationships. They are not supposed to be forever. A relationship can be for 3 weeks. Like, let's be sparring partners for the next 3 weeks and see what happens. I know it sounds funny, but that is a video that I just saw on Facebook two days ago. How children make friends. What do? They see someone and they see, hey, you look cool. They just go there and say, do you want to be friends? Or who are you? What do you do? How much money do you get? Or why do you drink coffee and not water? That's what children do, so why don't we start with that? And then the last tip, the last hint from me is always ask why. No matter if it's about you or if it's about other people. And I don't mean the why, I mean, why actually? In terms of, if you say, I'm not a morning person, ask yourself, why? What is the thing that I don't want to do? What is the thing I don't like about it? What is the thing that brought me here? And then take the opposite one and say, for example, I want to become the morning person. And then ask yourself why. The answer in my case is, I can't get enough of my life. And I'd rather sleep less. Drums. I'd rather sleep less but do more. So maybe in your case is you want to do some sports in the morning, or you want to spend time with your children, or you want to learn Japanese, whatever. Always ask why. And when your colleagues come to you with a question, for example, do you want to have lunch? If you're not the lunch person, you can ask, not why, but you can ask, is it okay if we go for a walk? And if this person says yes, you suddenly have the chance to spend time with him, to get to know him better, to come up with ideas about how you together can create
How we can
Hi, Berlin.
stream the monitor. I don't hear anything.
And in case I'm actually done, in case you want to have the checklist and more comments, best practices, and what you can do in order to even love your work more and to enable others to love their work as well, just ping me on LinkedIn, via email, whatever. I would be very, very happy to stay in touch. And I think now we have a couple of minutes for questions or comments. Thank you so much for being there, and I really wish you a conference full of learning, growing, and what was the third one? And sharing. Thank you so much. I am here for your questions if you have some.